Okay, and today we're going to make some nice sweet mince pies ready for pie week. So we've got 2 pies going here. We've got one topped with a nice Viennese biscuit, and then the other one we're going to put with a frangipane mix, just to make your mince pie that little bit different rather than just the pastry. So what do we need to make our pie? So we have your pastry. We have some sweet mince, which is just made straight out of the jar, and then I have some nice apple, which I'm going to add into that. We then have a Viennese biscuit mix, which is shortbread mix, and we have a frangipane mix, which would be just the same as you would put on a pear and frangipane tart. And then we've got our pastry, and to dust off at the end, we've got some icing sugar and some flaked almonds to top the frangipane base. So the first thing we need to do is to take our sweet mince and to add in the apple. Now I've used a dessert apple because it holds its shape a little bit better, and it also keeps that little bit of crunch and gives a little more texture to your bought mince meat. Now the pastry that we use is made with 203 grams of plain flour. It's made with 79 grams of butter, 79 grams of icing sugar and 1 egg, and it's a very easy to handle pastry. Just going to put a little bit of flour on the bench, a little bit on the rolling pin, and remember when you're rolling always to roll straight. Don't roll to the angle, always keep rolling straight, otherwise your pastry will become very lopsided and it will be thick on one side and thin on the other. After a moment, move it round, make sure it's not sticking, and if you need a little bit more flour, add it onto your rolling pin. Try not to add too much flour because you will change your recipe and you will end up with a very dry, heavy pastry. Take your time rolling it out. When you come to this stage, roll it onto the pastry rolling pin, turn it round. If you need some more flour, a little bit onto the bench, and then roll it out again. You're happy with about a 1 pound coin thickness, then you're going to cut the pastry to fit the mould. Now the size of the mould you want, you pick by putting around the edge and checking that it's just slightly bigger than what you would want to fit. And then you're going to set your pastry on. And a wee tip, use your rolling pin just to push it down in and get a nice neat filled. Don't stretch your pastry, don't press it too hard because that's the shape that it will become, and if you stretch it, whenever it cooks, it'll shrink down in and you'll have a very uneven shaped pastry. Now once you've made your pastry, put it into the tins. I would suggest that you put that pastry into the fridge and leave it for half an hour until it gets a chance to rest. Okay, so the pastry has now rested. Take a little bit of mincemeat. Don't put too much into the tray because it will bubble over and it will ruin on you and it will get very sticky. And there you have your mincemeat filling in. Okay, so now we want to put the topping on. So we're going to go for 6 with the Viennese topping and 6 with the frangipane topping. If you've got a piping bag, twist it round, hold the pressure from the top and use your other hand to guide. And you just pipe round. And you don't have to totally enclose the mix. Frangipane topping. And then we're going to put a few little flaked almonds on top just to add a little bit of texture. Bit of variety, and these give you a nice crunch whenever you bite into them. And then the Viennese biscuit mix. The Viennese biscuits are lovely, they melt in the mouth, so whenever you bite into your sweet mince pie with the Viennese biscuit, you've got a lovely flavour and a nice melt in the mouth texture coming through. Now it's a shortbread mix, so it is a little bit firmer in the hand. Pipe on. So that's your sweet mince pies ready to go into the oven. So we're going to bake those at 200 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes depending on your oven, or until they're nice and golden brown. So let's see how they turn out. So that's just time for a quick cup of tea or a quick cup of coffee while we wait on those baking. Okay. Okay, so there we've got our nice finished pies. So we're going to put them onto a cooling tray. Let them sit for a few minutes just till they set, and then we will dust them with some icing sugar. Okay, so we'll just dust these with a little icing sugar, and we'll just lift them carefully out of the tray. Roll your pastry knife or your palette knife round gently, and there you have it, some delicious seasonal pies ready for Christmas.